Eating Animals, which is a documentary based on the Jonathan Safran Foer book, produced and narrated by Natalie Portman. It's about the meat industry, and it starts with talking about the rise of factory farming and how factory farming, intense, farming, basically put old farming methods out of business, and it leads to this disjunct between food and source, that people end up eating burgers and chicken nuggets. They've got no sense of what they are and where they came from. And the film leads to a discussion of how food is produced and the effect that it has on the environment, on the consumers, and on the animals.
People think turkeys is being stupid and drowned in the rain, all this stuff, which isn't true. That all got based where people went out and bought baby turkeys and brought them home and didn't properly house them, and it rained and they all drowned. But my response to that is take a human baby and put it out in a rainstorm and see how long it survives. It'll put its head up and drown. That had more to do with just really bad care. Now, the other side of it is that the modern industrial turkey that everybody buys at Thanksgiving is a lot stupider. But that's because man, when they've decided to take the turkey off the land and house them in buildings, actually began to select for stupidity. Because if you have an animal that you don't want it to do anything, you want it just to eat and stand there and gain weight, you don't want it to have any intelligence.
The film then goes on to show you what battery and intensively farmed birds look like, what happens to pigs and cattle raised in those environments for slaughter, how industrialized farming, pollutes the landscape. And it also talks about this weird tournament system in which basically farmers who used to run their own farms are forced to use factory farming methods, and then they're forced to compete with each other. And there we follow one farmer who was effectively describes what his condition as having been reduced to serfdom. We hear another one who's a whistleblower whose life then falls apart. And the thing about the documentary is this: it's not a pro-vegetarian documentary, although there is a very strong argument in it, which is that vegetarianism is the future, and it may be that all meat production is obsolete anyway. But it says this, and I think this is a point that I agree with completely. It says you vote 3 times a day with your fork. And if you eat meat, you should know where it comes from and how it is produced. And if you eat it, you should be able to look that in the face. And if you can't, then that is a problem.